Hey everybody, welcome. For those of you that weren't already aware, aside from being a board game geek and a hardcore grognard, I'm also a huge science fiction fan, especially of Star Trek. And so when I first became aware of the game that I'm about to share with you today, when I first saw the theme, I knew instantly I was going to have to get this game on my table. And what I'm about to show you today is The Captain is Dead, designed by Joe Price and J.T. Smith, and published by The Game Crafter. The premise of the game is that you and your surviving shipmates have found yourselves in the middle of hostile space. The ship is coming apart around you, the jump core is damaged, and what's worse, the captain is dead. And you and your crewmates have to come together, control the chaos and damage going on around you, repair that jump core, and warp out of there before your ship blows up around you. Sounds like quite a challenge. It's purely cooperative, which means it also plays beautifully solitaire. So let's get to the table and check out The Captain is Dead. Okay, let's have a quick look at everything you get with the game, and we'll start with the board. And this is a nice mounted board. I'm actually pretty impressed with this. It's wrapped, it's sturdy, it's very colorful. In the middle of the board, you've got your ship and all the various rooms on your ship. Engineering, the cargo hold, the bridge, the computer core, the infirmary, the armory, the science lab, and the war room. And then surrounding your ship are displays for all the different systems that you can use during your gameplay to assist you in your main goal, which is to repair the jump core. There are areas around the edge of the board to place all the various cards that you'll be using throughout the game. There will be several plastic pawns that will have depictions of all the various characters you have to choose from to play throughout the game, along with pawns for hostile aliens that will be boarding your ship to cause mayhem and gum up the works. When you first get the game, you're going to have to peel and stick the images onto the pawns for your characters and your aliens. Some other bits included include these little red rockets here. These are your torpedoes. These are the weapons that you can use to fire at enemy ships or perhaps delay a coming alert card. In addition, you have these three rectangular pieces here. These two yellows are used to track the status of your shields and jump core, and this orange one is the blocker bar used to seal off the engineering compartment when the alert cards tell you to do so. And then you've got all the different kinds of cards that come into play during the game, starting with the different roles that you can play, or characters. Science officer, soldier, tactical officer, first officer, even the janitor. All different kinds of characters that you can choose to play. And these icons on the card, they'll usually have, each different role will have their own special ability that's unique to that character, the number of actions that they have to spend each turn, skill discounts, and we'll get into skills in a minute. Their rank is simply the turn order when playing the game, and their hand size, which is the maximum number of skills or tools that they can hold in their hand. Then we've got the skill cards, and the four types of skills: engineering, command, tactical, and science. And what these skill cards are is for every special action you take with your characters throughout the game, whether it's repairing a damaged ship system, or firing a torpedo, using certain systems aboard the ship. In addition to actions, you'll have to spend skills that you'll be holding in your hand. The skills are basically the currency of the game. Next up, we've got the alert cards. The alert cards are actually what drives the game forward. The alert cards are drawn first 5 at the very beginning before gameplay begins to set up the initial damage aboard your ship, and then 1 is drawn at the end of each character's turn. And what the alerts are basically all the horrible things that happen to your ship as the game goes on. All the different emergencies, systems are damaged, aliens are attacking, aliens are boarding your ship. And the longer the game goes on, without you repairing your jump core, the worse the alerts get. It starts off with yellow alerts, which are pretty bad, moves on to orange alerts, which are very bad, and then ends with red alerts. And if you haven't won the game by the time you hit the red alerts, chances are you're all going to die. Next up, we have the battle plans. And battle plans are special cards that can be accessed through the captain's journal system in the war room. And what battle plans are special one-time use abilities. They are quite powerful and will go a long way towards helping you win the game. You'd be well advised to have a character that can easily draw more battle plans as the game goes on. There are special tools that can be picked up in the ship's cargo hold, and what these tools do is they're held in your hand along with your skill cards, and they can help you make additional repairs, kill enemy aliens that board your ship, perhaps use some of the ship's systems without having to spend an action. And you use your tool, and then you flip it over to its other side, and on the other side the benefit that the tool gives you will be slightly weaker, and then after the second use the tool is discarded. There are upgrades that you can research and add to your ship, such as the ability to look at additional future alert cards, the ability to prevent aliens from teleporting aboard your ship, improvements to the shields, improvements to the infirmary to help injured players heal, and an additional action for each player. You will spend an action and the required number of science skills to research each upgrade, and once that upgrade has been achieved, you flip the card over and add it to your current upgrades. And finally, we have some of the different ship systems here. These are the status cards that reflect the status of ship systems. They can be online, they can be offline and damaged, or they can be completely destroyed. We have a torpedo tube that you'll use to fire torpedoes at enemy ships at a cost of 2 actions, a command skill, and a tactical skill. There are external scanners that will let you look a couple of cards ahead in the alert deck. There's a comm system that for the cost of an action will let you give and receive skills from other players. Internal sensors that will let you pick up additional skills for an action. The computer core, which will allow you to draw random skills, and the transporter, which will allow you to transport to any area of the ship for 1 action. A quick look at how these systems work. For example, here the teleporter is online. If you draw an alert card that instructs you to take the teleporter offline, you'll flip the card over and it will show you the cost in actions and skills in order to repair it to online status. You might also be instructed to destroy a certain system, in which case you would remove the card entirely, and then it would tell you how many actions and what types and number of skills to spend reinstalling that destroyed system. And we have a color glossy rulebook that's very well illustrated with lots of color pictures, large print. It's a very brief rulebook. In fact, most of this rulebook spends time instructing you how to set up the game, descriptions of all the different characters that you can play in the game and what their special skills are, descriptions of what the different systems will do. As far as actual rules, there's really, I would say, 1, 2, 3, 4 pages of rules, and this is a detailed example of play that just kind of walks you through the game's mechanics. And then there's a little strategy guide at the back of the rule book that gives you some tips for successful gameplay, and then a little quick reference chart on the back cover. Not a bad rule book. Some ambiguities here, which was a little bit disappointing for a game that's really so straightforward, but really nothing you shouldn't be able to dope out for yourself. Here's a look at our game, all set up and ready to go. We've got 2 face-up alert cards that we can look at ahead of time because of our external scanners. Our battle plans, our skills, the ship's computer system, the internal sensors. The cargo pod holds additional skills and tools. We've got the jump core set for normal difficulty, and the goal of the game is to repair your jump core all the way up to engage, in which case you would win the game, and you can set it for harder difficulties as you improve your gameplay. We've got our teleporter system set up. We've got 5 torpedoes available to fire at the start of the game, along with our torpedo tube system. Currently, our shields are at 100%. That will change very soon. And of course, our comm and external scanner systems. We've selected pawns and characters for the game we're about to play, and dealt out the appropriate number of skill cards for each player. It should be noted on the back of each character card there is a list of all the different actions you can take at the cost of 1 skill. To begin the game, we're going to start off by revealing the first 5 alert cards and following the instructions on each and doing damage to our ship. For example, the first alert card tells us to reduce the shields by 20%. And we'll place that used alert card in the discard section. We'll next do the next alert card, follow its instructions. I'm going to go ahead and do damage with 5 alert cards to get our game started, and we'll be right back. Alright, we've got some serious crisis going on the ship right now. Our external scanners have been damaged, and we no longer get a preview of what emergencies we've got waiting for us. We've got 3 enemy boarders on our bridge, 3 more enemy alien boarders in engineering. Our shields have been reduced to 60%. Things are looking pretty bad. We're going to start doing what we can to repair our jump core and get out of this hostile space. Let's just play through a quick turn, just so I can show you how spending actions and skills works. These may not be the best tactical choices. Again, I just want to give you a generalized idea of how to spend actions. Play begins with the lowest ranking character going first. The Admiral has 4 actions available to him to spend, 2 command skill discounts, and in his hand he has a tactical skill, a science skill, and 2 command skills. The Admiral also has a special ability. He can draw battle plans from the Captain's Journal from any location on the ship. In addition, he can draw 2 battle plans at a time and choose one of them. Any player that's located in the war room, however, has access to the Captain's Journal, and for 2 actions and 1 command skill, normally a player would be able to draw 1 battle plan. But the Admiral has that special skill where he can draw 2. He also has those 2 skill discounts on his card, which means he just needs to spend 2 actions to draw 2 battle plans. We'll select the one we like and keep it, and place the other one back in the battle plan deck. So we've spent our first 2 actions and drawn a battle plan, and the instructions on the battle plan, if we don't want to hang on to it for later, we can just go ahead, follow the instructions on the battle plan, and this says to make 1 jump core repair now as a free action, and then discard after use. So we'll go ahead and do that. With 2 actions left, we'll spend 1 of them and move to the armory. It should be noted that if the teleporter over here is online, a player can move anywhere they want on the ship for 1 action. If the teleporter is offline, for 1 action, you can move up to 2 spaces. Now in the armory, the Admiral will use his final action using the security station. For 1 action and 1 tactical skill, you can kill 1 hostile alien in any location. So the Admiral takes the tactical skill out of his hand and spends it by placing it in the discarded skills area next to the computer system. And the Admiral has killed 1 of the hostile aliens located on the bridge. Now, having spent all 4 of his actions, the last thing the Admiral does at the end of his turn is draw the next alert card. Draw the alert card and follow the instructions indicated on the card. Now, what you can also do, if you don't want to inflict the damage or carry out the event on the alert card, one option is to overwrite it, basically ignoring the effects of the card and simply discarding it. For 3 command skills, this card can be overridden. We'll just go ahead and override that alert. The Admiral already has 2 command discounts, so in order to override this alert, he'll spend his 2 discounts and 1 additional command skill out of his hand, and we can then override the alert. The next lowest ranked character being played is the Tactical Officer. She has 4 actions available, 2 tactical skill discounts, and her current hand consists of 3 engineering skills and a tactical skill. Now, as we can see, the Tactical Officer is on the bridge with 2 hostile aliens still there. Now, here's the thing with aliens. They don't attack you. They don't damage systems around the ship. What aliens do is basically gum up the works. So while these hostile aliens are present, the only thing that the Tactical Officer is able to do is either kill aliens or transport off the bridge. If the teleporter is down, she can't even do that. So she's going to have to spend one action each to kill each of these two aliens. So for 2 actions, she'll go ahead and kill the 2 aliens. For 1 action and 2 tactical skills, she can repair the external scanners. But now she has 2 tactical skill discounts on her card, so she simply has to spend the 1 action to flip over the external scanners card back to the online status. With the external scanners now repaired, we automatically draw the top 2 alert cards for our preview of what's coming. And we can see at the end of the tactical officer's turn, we're going to have to reduce the shields and take the computers offline. And for her final action, she's going to use the teleporter to transport over to the cargo hold. Our action's now spent. We draw the next alert card, reducing the shields, taking the computers offline, and discarding the skill deck. Reduce the shields. The computers are now offline, and the skill deck is no longer available. It's discarded. Play then moves on to the next player, and the next player. Play continues, going from player to player, with each player using their available actions, spending their available skills on moving about the ship, repairing damaged systems, repairing the jump core and shields, firing torpedoes at enemy ships, researching anomalies, and of course, always drawing the horrible alert cards at the end of each turn. There's only one way to win, and that's with actions and skills, repairing the jump core one step at a time, all the way up to the engage space, at which point your ship escapes and you survive. There are a few different ways to lose, starting with the shields. If your shields take damage all the way down to the 0 spot, once your shields are at 0, one more hit, your ship is destroyed, you all die. Alien intruders. If an alert card instructs you to place alien intruders aboard your ship, and you have no more left to place, your ship has been overtaken, the game is lost, and you all die. Finally, the alert deck itself is something of a timer. If by some miracle you've managed not to have your ship blow up or be overtaken by aliens by the time you get to the final alert card in the deck, if you're able to draw it and resolve it and discard it, if by this time you haven't been able to repair the jump core, your crew has done all they can. They've been overwhelmed by the aliens, and that's right, you all die. To conclude our overview, let's have a look at a few of the systems we haven't already spent time with. A player located in the computer core has access to 2 different ship systems, the ship's computers and the internal sensors. To use the computers, a player can spend 1 action and draw a random skill. Or to use the internal sensors, spend an action and there will be a selection of 3 face-up skills if the player would rather not draw a random skill. When in the cargo pod, the player will have access to anything located in the cargo pod. At the cost of 1 action, a player can take one of the skills that's located in the cargo pod or one of the helpful tools located there. without, of course, exceeding your maximum hand size. If your hand size is already at its maximum, you can always exchange a skill for another skill or tool in the cargo pod. Players located in the science lab have access to a research station. For one action and 4 science skills, an anomaly can be researched. An anomaly is an alert card with a special quality. It's a gift that keeps on giving. An anomaly will penalize you in some way until it can be successfully researched and discarded. Additionally, from the science lab, upgrades can be researched. These are special things, special abilities, and upgrades for your ship that will help you in your quest to repair that all-important jump core. Once the required number of science skills and actions are spent to research a particular upgrade, it's flipped to its active side and placed in the active upgrade section. When a player is injured, they have access to the trauma station located in the infirmary. At the cost of 1 action, an injured player can become healed. When located in the armory, aside from the security station, the player also has access to the torpedo tube. For 1 action and 3 tactical skills, a player can manufacture an additional torpedo. For 2 actions, a command skill, and a tactical skill, a player can also fire an available torpedo to destroy any extra enemy ships hovering about outside, causing additional damage to your shields. Torpedoes can also be fired in order to avoid having to draw an alert card for that turn. From the bridge, in addition to the shields and external scanners, a player also has access to the comm system. Now, the comm system, when it's online, can be used from anywhere on the ship. Now, of course, if the comm system is damaged, a player has to be on the bridge in order to repair it. But for the comm system, a player can spend 1 action and then give one of their skills to any other player in the game. Likewise, for 1 action, that player could request a skill from any player in the game. Okay, so the captain is dead. Right off the bat, I had fun with this game. I played it both solitaire and cooperatively with some friends of mine, and everybody had a good time with it. It's really tailored for science fiction fans, though. Beautiful artwork, beautiful components, everything works together exactly the way it's supposed to. And for you fans of a really great narrative, the alert cards just do an expert job of just driving the story forward and just really, if you like good narrative, this game I think could really aid you if you're, writing your own science fiction episode. This game could help you write your own screenplay. It really just tells a great story as you're playing. The excitement is constant. It keeps a good rhythm. There's constantly stuff going on around you. Enemy ships are attacking. Your systems are going down. You've got alien borders. Your crewmates are injured. It's just, there's constantly something to do in this game. The main point is to repair that jump core. But all around you are these critical systems, your teleporter, the computer core that you need to be able to draw those essential skills that you're going to need to keep your crew alive, to keep your ship intact. It really just plays out well, really exciting, really immersive. We all just really enjoyed this game. I really enjoyed it. Great theme, great gameplay. Really, the only confusion on my part is why some big-time mass-market publisher hasn't snapped this game up and turned it into a hit. I could see plenty of room for expansion, more alert cards, more scenarios. A really, really enjoyable game. There are some concerns, though, that I should point out. First of all, replayability is good, but I think there is some danger of this game hitting your table too often. The main crux of your gameplay is always going to be maximizing and making the most efficient use possible of every action your character has. And practice will eventually make perfect. You can mitigate that somewhat by adjusting the difficulty to harder levels. You can mitigate that more by, rather than picking out which characters you want to play, mixing it up, trying different combinations, randomizing them. But again, practice will make perfect. In addition, the alert cards, for you card counters out there, there is a card counting element. Once you get really familiar with that alert deck, you're going to know what's right around the corner, what's coming up, whether your scanners are working or not. But still, these are the replayability thing is a minor issue. If you're not, having this game hit your table 3 times a day, I don't think replayability will be an issue. A couple other little concerns as a pure cooperative game. If you're not playing solitaire, if you're playing with other people, the alpha player can be an issue. So you alpha players out there, you know who you are. Check yourself. Also, there can be quite a bit of dead time in between turns. That's not a fault of the game. There's just so many choices that you can make. Do I waste an action moving to a different location in the ship? What can I accomplish right here? Should I repair this critical system first, or should I head over to engineering and try to do a repair on the jump core? There's just tons of critical choices to be made with every turn, and folks could spend some time standing there stroking their chin trying to figure out what to do. What we found, we grabbed one of these out of, I don't know, some party game. Use one of these, or use an egg timer, whatever you like. Set it for whatever time you and your group feel comfortable with. In addition to keeping the game humming along, I found it actually plays into the premise of the game quite well. It's an emergency. Your ship is under attack. Things are going to chaos around you. Your decisions have to come now. Let's see, what else? Rules. I think I have the first edition of the rules here. There is some errata on the Game Crafter's website. I'll provide a link in the video description. Rules are a little bit ambiguous at times, but fortunately the mechanics of this game are straightforward enough that whatever you're confused about, you should be able to, dope it out or house rule around it with no problem. But just a really fun game. The theme is just incredibly well implemented, terrific artwork, terrific gameplay. I'd love to see some expansions for The Captain is Dead. I think they're working on one now. But great job, guys. It is currently, unfortunately, only available at the Game Crafter's website. But yeah, worth it. If you're a science fiction fan, if you're a fan of Star Trek, if you like cooperative games, I can highly recommend this. That was The Captain is Dead, designed by Joe Price and J.T. Smith, and published by the Game Crafter. If you'd like to see some more of my reviews and playthroughs, I hope you'll head over to my YouTube channel and hit that subscribe button. But that's going to be it for today. Thank you for joining me, everybody, and until next time, happy gaming.